All right, my video is about the power of asking questions. Now, what kind of title is that? What do you mean asking questions? It's funny because questions are what open doors for you. I've probably recently done a video about questions, but it's just that impactful that I have to ask. I have to do another one. Questions got me to where I was. Questions opened the doors to my mentors that I got. Questions allowed me to do things that were uncomfortable. Questions got me into a public speaking group that developed me. Questions open doors for me to get new contacts, new people, new aspects, just challenging myself. And questions are the open doors. You won't get what you do not go after. A question opens that door because people understand that you've got an interest in something if you ask a question. And it's funny because one of the books I'm reading now is called Crucial Conversations, and I've got a method called AMPP, and essentially it's ridiculous. It's a brilliant book. It's a brilliant book. So AMPP essentially is looking at how to tackle conversations. So AMPP stands for Ask, Mirror, Paraphrase, and Pray. Now what I'm focusing on is asking. And why it's so important is the conversation. You cannot, if you're in a conversation with someone, or a child of yours is doing something wrong, or a friend of yours seems to be doing something, if you ask them a question, instead of telling them and making a statement saying, look, you're doing something wrong, that's a blunt statement, and it's going to infuriate them because you're telling them something. Of course they're gonna come back at you, and you're gonna develop conflict. But if you ask them a question, just say, look, why do you do that? Like, is there something wrong? Is there something I don't know about? Why do you do that? Just a simple question allows them to open up. They might not, so you just keep digging, but you're doing it out of love. So that's exactly simple. In business, the same thing. If you want something, you got to ask questions, because questions will direct you to where you want to go. One of my mentors always said, if you don't ask questions, then we don't know if you're active. If you don't ask questions, we don't know if you're serious. If you don't ask questions, we don't know if you're actually thinking about the business, or if you want to grow your business. We don't know. Why? Because you don't ask questions. It's not about how quick you build it. If you build it, we don't know that you're building because you don't ask questions. All our resources, we allocate individuals to ask questions because we know they actually want to communicate with us. And that's essentially it. Just ask questions. I'll give you an example. One of the gentlemen walked into work, and he's a young gentleman. He wanted cigarettes. Like, you're not getting cigarettes. So he walked in, and I asked him, like, I used some of the principles. I asked a question. I didn't say don't smoke or why are you smoking. Not that enforceful. I said, look, dude, you're young. I asked him if I could ask him a question, so I already opened the door. If it was his choice, if he wanted the question or not. He said yes, and I asked him, look, why do you smoke? And he told me this huge story of why he's smoking. He started smoking at 12. Now, I know that now. So every time he comes in, I'm like, look, how's it going? And now he's just developed to a point where he's using those, not a cigarette, those things that pump up liquid, and it's like a substitute for a cigarette, but it hasn't got the nicotine. I think it's got a little bit of nicotine, but it hasn't got all the, it's a step to stopping. And that's all because I asked the question. So my friends, all I'm saying is ask the question to open a door to someone to want to know about what they're going on. If you have a friend that's going through, ask a question. If you want to know more about a business, if you want to know more about, if you have a motivation speaker or a business individual you want to go ask them a question, because they know you're serious. All right, peace, take care, enjoy the rest of your day.